First of all, welcome from my side. I'm really happy to be here. Patrick, thanks for inviting me, for giving me the opportunity. I have to say I'm a developer in the bottom of my heart. So I was starting a long time ago as a developer, was working then more than 13 years in the development area, doing a lot of stuff, being in the ATM, being in the voice over IP, being in the applications development. And then I found out that it's probably a good idea to listen to the customers. So I was going out, still being in the development, and dealing with customer challenges, with customer problems. And that made me really so exciting about it that I was changing my profession. I was going to the sales organization. Then I found out after that we have to fight for better solutions. So I was going to the product definition. Later I was going to the portfolio definition, and then, finally I made it into the marketing organization. Now, trying to message what really creative and innovative guys are coming up with and trying to sell, right? So my presentation today will not focus on marketing stuff, so I just put my development hat again on. I want to go into details on collaboration and how to leverage the environment we are living in, we are working in. And by the way, that's also something which is really important for me in my second role, being the managing director of FastView, because FastView is a collaboration application which we as Siemens Enterprise Communications acquired a couple of years ago. And in that small but really creative environment, I see a lot of opportunities. And when talking with customers, I always get the impression that we all together, being here in that industry, we are missing a lot of those opportunities because sometimes we are too technical, sometimes we are trying to focus on our business, on our revenue, but in almost all cases we are forgetting about the customers and making things work the customers really need. Right? That picture here is kind of, it's a mirror for us. And Patrick, you know, we are working side by side, close to each other. It's the next door. You see me often sitting there, and that's because of something is not going to work. So now we are the tech guys. So if it's not working for us, how is it working for our customers? There are not that many tech guys in our customers' organization. And they are suffering from solutions being out there today, not working together, not working the right way. You know? And of course, we all together can make great pitches in regards to our solutions we are selling today. And there are really great solutions out there, no problem at all. But the problem is when it comes to getting to communication with your customers, with, again, different people in different companies, you are getting in trouble. So everybody knows, you get into a meeting room, and you don't want to just have a video conference or collaboration with your people internally, but with the outside. What's going on? First of all, you try to call the other side. Not working. You don't know why. The others are trying to calling you. Okay, if you have an MCU, maybe it's a little bit better. Nevertheless, you're struggling. A lot of stuff is going wrong. If you're in bad luck, people before you were in that meeting room were plugging around the cables. You as the tech guys, or we as the tech guys, we are probably able to figure it out and fix it. Again, those guys being out there in the healthcare environment, in the educational environment, being in whatever else industries, they just don't get it. And what they are doing is, they are no longer using it. So what we need to do is really to think about how to leverage the environment we are in. Try to be not that technical, hide the technology. Technology is great, but let's try to hide the technology and let's have the user experience play out that people are able to work together. So of course it would be better in that case, I'm looking bright, I'm happy to go forward, I'm able to communicate, I don't have to think about it. I think that's the right way to go forward. And when you look to your environment, there's a lot of information which today is not leveraged, or at least not leveraged in the right way. There is a lot of information around you personally which is belonging to you, which can help you to make your communication much better. There is information maybe around your building where you're located, or around your home, or maybe in your car, which you can, again, leverage in order to make your communication better and sometimes even more safe. Just assuming the case, being in the car, it's not always a good idea to be able to drive fast, especially in Germany, you can drive whatever you want, and then start a collaboration session. That doesn't make sense at all. That's a risk for you. That's a risk for your company you're working for. And this is something where we also, so you know, it's great to have technology, but let's leverage the technology in the right way and leverage the information around you. And then, of course, we were talking a lot about cloud already today. Of course, there's a lot of sensor information from the cloud. In that car example, it could be the weather. If it's snowing and you're driving still fast, it's definitely not a good idea to start collaboration, right? I will come to that example a little bit later. In order to make it a little bit more transparent and tangible for you, to understand what I'm talking about, I was coming up with examples from real life. Let's put it that way, from consumer life right now, right? And I would say everybody here in that room has at least a clue about one of those examples. Either you are running or you're biking and you're leveraging information, sensor information, which is recorded, which gets tracked, which you can afterwards have a look to. You with your friends, because maybe you're in a kind of fight with one of your guys, with one of your buddies. You want to be better than that guy, or you want to check out different sightseeing things. So there's a lot of information you're using today. The personal workout with the built-in sensors in the shoes, for instance, or when you're a skiing fan, you can easily go either in the US or in Europe, no problem at all. There are areas where they are tracking you. And afterwards, you get a print or an information, of course, in an electronic way, showing you which trails you are going down, which height you would take, and so on, which is great information, right? And you don't even think about that. Right now, in the business life, a lot of people are kind of screaming about the fact, oh, we are putting a lot of stuff in the cloud. Is it secure? In your consumer life, in your private life, sometimes you don't even think about it. You just do it, right? Weather information is another one. This one down here, the smart content pictures, this is a map around Munich. I have taken it from my iPhone. It's built in. I use it daily. I just take pictures. There was a car. There was an animal there. You are able to track back. You are able to leverage that information when you share it with your friends or with your colleagues. There's additional information they can use, right? So they want to know where you have seen that car, where they can have a look to that car. No problem at all. You find it out with that. In the business environment, I'm sorry. It's a lot of information which is there. We are never leveraging it today. Traffic information is another one. But let's go forward. So now let's have a look to the business environment. A lot of stuff is there. Are we able to leverage it today? Of course. No problem at all. There might be just some small pieces missing. Everybody here is able to come up with a solution for that. So for instance, that one. I love that one here. Because there is an analogy from being in a car. In a car, you know, there are attention assistants today. At least in the most cars we know today, nowadays, getting out of the factories, there are attention assistants. They have the task to take care of you in case you fall asleep or you are doing something which is not good for you. They are kind of warning you. There is a bzzz or whatever it is, you get awake, you get focused again. Typical situation in collaboration sessions. If the meeting is not starting at time, if people are trying to find out what was the most recent version, they are starting to do email. Latest then, I would already play a bzzz for those people getting back to the meeting, because there are people spending a lot of money that you are working on a certain topic and that you're working fully focused and not distracted doing something else. Now this is the first time where I talk a little bit about standardization. So in that case, an interface would help where people could add some nice accessories to collaboration sessions, which would not just do acoustically bzz, but I could think of having some power strokes to people. So the accessory vendors, they could come up with nice things, lights, flashing lights, whatever it is, to get people back into the collaboration, right? And this is not rocket science. So this was a kind of joke. Yeah? You probably don't need to come up with a power thing to get people back, but you can monitor it. You can make people, again, focusing on what's right now going on, right? And you can measure it. You don't have to put that person onto the hot spot and showing in the meeting, this person is right now doing something else, but definitely not listening. But you can, for instance, show a percentage rate of how many people in that session are focused and how many people are doing different things. And probably that's helping, right? The other example here in the car, that's something, if you look to the car vendors, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, they were all, I would say, in a very proprietary environment. They were building their cars. It took 7 years to come up with a new model of a car. And if it's BMW, Mercedes, Audi, or whatever other car manufacturers, they had at least 6 to maybe sometimes 8, 9 years to build stuff and make it right. In the meantime, they are now building a lot of sensors into the car in order to do all the measurement in the car. So if you put a guess or if you want to bet how many sensors are in a car, I was trying to Google a little bit around. I was trying to get in contact with some of those, depending on what model you are talking about. We are talking about thousands of sensors. So we can leverage. I don't talk about leveraging all those 1,000 or whatever it is, but you can leverage a couple of them, right? For really some good stuff. So finding out what speed is there is great. Finding out about the weather information is great. Finding out the traffic situation would be nice. If you get to a repair section on the freeway, probably it's a bad idea to allow them to play around with the entertainment system or with the communication system. You want to have that person focused on the track in that specific case. So what they have learned, they were building in a lot of sensors now. And they learned something else. If you want to leverage applications and added value for people driving, you have to get away from that being really proprietary in the car. At least the entertainment system is now in a way to open up much more. So this is a very, very good step already, and I think it's relevant for us here. When we talk about standardization, on the one side, yes, it's defining standards. Sometimes it's not possible to have just one standard. I get that. It would be nice, but you know, because of the nature of the human race, we are innovative. So there are different people, different groups, different cultures coming maybe up with the same idea, doing it in a different way. It's clear that we cannot have just one standard, but we can assure that those things are working together, right? So openness is key. So now the car manufacturers, by the way, I was talking about BMW, Mercedes, Audi, they are already now really going that open approach. They allow applications to be used in their entertainment systems. No longer 7 years of development cycle. That wouldn't make sense for those apps, right? It doesn't make sense at all. So they learned the lesson and now they are changing. And this is the opportunity for us as solution providers where we are able to leverage the car as I would say a rich field of sensors which we can leverage for making better collaboration. The other one here is a simple one. It's not always about leveraging that information. Sometimes it's also about creating additional information which provides a benefit to the user, to the end user. In that specific case, it's an easy one, and you just convert an video audio snippet, voice message, or it could be a recording of a session into text. We call it transcription. By transcripting audio and video pieces, you make them searchable, you make that information accessible, and you can speed up the daily work of the people. Because you're on a collaboration session, somebody is calling you in parallel. Okay, you can either decide to disrupt the collaboration session or ignore the other person, but if you go for ignoring the other person, you can transcript the message that person is leaving you, and immediately, within a second, you know what's going on, and then you can make a decision. Today, if you don't use the transcription, you are in bad luck. It takes a lot of time till you get it. So the other one here is also really nice, and this is, again, talking a little bit more about cloud and about social. There are a lot of opportunities out there, leveraging social elements, leveraging your social hierarchy, leveraging your social tech cloud. Those topics which are important for you, which are relevant to you, which matter to you and maybe to your colleagues, can be brought up to you. And other information, which is not relevant, can be hidden. So instead of getting a bulk of data because of all those new sensors and information coming to you, you can make a great decision on your behavior, on how you're working with your social community, and bringing just those things up which are relevant to you. So there's a lot of opportunity for us together. Yeah, now I would say it's time to talk a little bit more about standardization. And I don't want to make it too big, that point, but there are a couple of things I would like at least to give some thinking points. I think everybody has seen this is a strong market, all those sensors around you in your daily life, but also in your business life, because people are now bringing their their consumer devices to work. They are no longer going to work, they are working from wherever they want, so we have the opportunity to leverage those things. So let's think about that, and let's not wait that everybody comes up with its own proprietary stuff, but really, let's go for an open approach, a standardized approach, where we are able to leverage all those nice sensor information. The first task I see there is with the guys providing those sensors, right? I don't think that the glue, the IPR of those sensors is in the interface to provide the data to the outside. I don't think that this is the case. I think the IPR comes from where you're grabbing information and how you're kind of aggregating that information before providing it to the upper layer. So at this point in time, I would say, come on, let's try to standardize that interface that everybody here can leverage that data and can use it. I don't want to have a wall between the consumer world and between the enterprise world. I want to leverage whatever's there in the appropriate situation. The second piece, which from my point of view is interesting, for those building applications, coming up with solutions, whether it's from the cloud or whether it's some special stuff on the mobile devices, I don't care. There I see the same thing. It's not about the interface where you're grabbing the information. I think you make the difference, we as Siemens Enterprise Communications, you as, and I can name all you here, you are making the difference in putting things in a special way together, leveraging your great guys, your creative people in your company, coming up with new ideas, creating a lot of IPR. But again, it's not in the interface where you're getting the data from, it's about the combination and finding the right way to bring things together, right? So I think this is something which I personally would really encourage everybody here to think of and drive towards, right? Something what I also would like to point out, what we as a company have found out, which is really important. Be market-driven. Look to what's going on in the market. Listen to your customers. Understand the challenges of your customers. I think be user-centric is really important. It is not about the video system, which is in that room. It's not about the server being in the data center. And it's also not about the personal devices. They are important, that's clear. Technology is important. But the most important thing is how you bring people together, that they can make their job, that they can work in the right way, that they can collaborate. And again, don't think in islands. It's not about just your enterprise world. I don't want to make a difference between now I need to talk to Patrick, and afterwards I want to talk to my daughter or to my wife. Today, it's a challenge because everybody uses different systems, and I need to think of what is Patrick using or what is my daughter using, right? And it's also a problem of the generations. If you look to people, my daughter is no longer using email or that kind of stuff or making calls. Forget about that. They are leveraging different tools, different applications. So we need to think about that as well, because in the companies out there, and the customers of our companies, they don't have just groups of people being 20 or being 30 or being 40. It's a mix. There's everything. and they have to work together. And it's up to us to make it happen, right? Yeah, with that, I would like to switch a little bit. I'm not going to give you now a sales pitch of what we are doing, but I think there is a good idea of, I can give you a good idea of what we are right now doing. We have introduced Project Ansible just this year, this summertime, and Ansible is exactly leveraging those ideas, leveraging the environment you are in, leveraging that information from different points, from weather information, time zone information, whatever you could think of. And what I would like to do is really a very short overview about Project Ansible, going through a couple of things, pointing out how we are solving that. And I think that should be it for today. So for that, I have planned to show a short video. So let's quickly go through.
Hey, nice to see you. Shall we get started?
Okay, so there was a lot of stuff in, probably was a bit fast for you. For me, it's not fast because I've seen it now 1,000 times or so and presenting it all the time, all the days, all the weeks. But there are really nice things in where small little things make a big difference for the daily work. I want to go quickly through a couple of examples through the rest of the slides, point some of those things out. And again, this is something where I really want to encourage everybody. Let's work together because we can make the world better by being able to interoperate and making those things available not just in an island, but really throughout the whole landscape. And I think this is important. Let's quickly go through here that example. You see here weather information, time zone information. For me personally, it's always annoying. I'm in the US and somebody from my German colleagues is going to call me in the middle of the night, 3 o'clock in the morning. Okay, probably the person could know about it because, of course, I have a message there, but on the other side, the solution could help to not even bother me, right? So there are small little things where we can really make a difference. I think here, this is the other piece. And you were already talking about it. It's really low effort to integrate, for instance, Google Map functionality, but this is providing a great benefit to your customers and even to us. You can leverage Street View, you can leverage the routing information, you can get to your appointment in an easy way, and you can leverage that from your mobile phone. So it's really leveraging information which is available. It's there today, but the problem is we do not use it in the appropriate way today. Another one is the transcription. Transcription it can be really helpful for meeting after work. So you don't have to write meeting minutes anymore. If you leverage transcription in the right way, this can be done for you. You can focus on your real business. You can make the creative work happen. You don't have to do the boring work and writing things down. That's something which is not needed, right? So that's something where we need to go for. So if you want to learn a little bit more about Project Ansible, how we are doing that, you can find us on www.projectansible.com. Patrick, you will be available, of course. I will be available. And I would be happy to think about joint ideas where we could make things together work across the solutions, right? Again, let's connect those islands. Let's make them work better together. I would say that's it for today. I'm happy that I was here. Maybe there are questions. That's on the way to get a commercial product. That will be available next year for sales. We've spent quite a lot of time on that, and now we are, so to say, in the finishing phase to get it out. October 15th, Patrick, probably you have mentioned that already. We are going to rebrand our company. You have seen the slides here. There was no longer Siemens just in the front and the end page. I'm not going to tell you the name today. And if you ask me, I would say hellokitty.com, something like that, but it's definitely not the right name. So under the new name, we are introducing Ansible as a commercial product and going forward with that.